Hey everyone, John Moran here with Customer Acquisition Specialist, and today we're going to be discussing how Performance Max is actually more of an omnichannel reactionary campaign than it would be to drive new customers, generate demand rather than capture demand, and actually grow and scale your company. Not even really recently, but it's one of the most recent, along with demand gen, it's one of the most recent campaign types inside of Google Ads. And Performance Max is boasting an omnichannel presence focused on conversions, whether with maximized conversions or maximized conversion value. And a lot of marketers who look at in-app ROAS, which means they take Google's metrics and revenue that is generated inside of that campaign for face value, when instead it might be actually piggybacking off of what they call omni-channel traffic. Now what this means is that Performance Max reacts to demand capturing. If there is demand to be captured, it can capture demand, whether that be from brand or from non-brand. What I mean by that is people who know about your brand, who are acclimated with your brand, or are coming to your website, or who are being impressed with ads, will sometimes be captured by Performance Max later on in the funnel. As marketers, we always try to grow incrementally, which means is we're trying to add value to businesses or add value to companies or even agencies in terms of starting the person's journey with that company, starting them with their journey with that brand, getting acclimated, getting receiving more of an understanding of what that company or that brand has to offer. And that is done through good prospecting, whether that be through Meta or through non-brand search or non-brand shopping or YouTube. But usually Performance Max will be a good area as a backup or a secondary. So I have a very, very rock solid case study of a company that we've started marketing for, and you'll see how the Performance Max campaign has reacted to really good YouTube campaign, and also compare that to the company's actual back end. So I can show that big spike here going from 8K up to $250,000 within basically 2 months is actually YouTube and not Performance Max. But when you look at the in-app measurements, when you look at what did Performance Max measure and what did YouTube measure, we'll see that YouTube looked worse, Performance Max looked amazing, but that was because Performance Max was piggybacking off of the success with YouTube. And I want you all to think about this in your omnichannel marketing, which is Performance Max working well, or is it because they have good brand awareness? They have good existing traffic. There's influencer traffic. There is organic social traffic. There's paid social traffic. There's paid YouTube. Is it return traffic from search? Is it return traffic from shopping? All of those things will influence Performance Max, and this case study proves that very cleanly. So this is a company that sells a tea infuser. Now we can see that since basically beginning of time, they started their company in October 2021. They never really went over this hump. Their last December was in November in 2022. Was 39,000, then kind of went back down to 10K right after that in January. Now, all of a sudden you'll see here in October went from 13, November went through Black Friday was 40,000, and then in December it shot up to 250,000. You see the store sessions shot up, you see the orders shoot up, AOV held and got actually better, and you'll see new customers shoot up to 2,900 new customers in December after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then held well. We just had to kind of drop down the traffic because we sold out of everything, which is good news. But watch this. If we look at the account, this is all campaigns. Nothing that's nothing that's paused, that's being hidden. This is all campaigns here, and you'll see back then, all the way in April was when we started. This is the November, and then all of a sudden, boop, this big jump in December with clicks and conversions. Now, what ended up happening in December of 2023. I'll just do this time period here so you can all see this. If we look in December 2023 all the way out to, let's say, February, and we compare that to the previous period, what you'll see is that the campaigns that were running then, and my apologies for Google being very slow, but it's okay. What you'll see is YouTube went from 17 grand up to 146,000. We put $129,000 into YouTube. You'll see Performance Max go from $4,500 up to 13K. So a 750% increase in YouTube and a 200% increase in Performance Max. Here's the fun part. By spending $130,000 in YouTube, we only made $147,000. That was the increase. So it looks like basically kind of a 1x return. However, Performance Max spent $9 grand more and somehow received $80,000 more. So they both received 1,000% more conversion value, but Performance Max only had to spend 200% more versus YouTube spending 800% more. There's a weird issue here. How did Performance Max show such a high increase in ROAS? YouTube just went from 90 to 111. Performance Max went from 182 up to 650. I want you all to focus here because this part is where this proof kind of comes to light. If you're running Performance Max and thinking that you're getting a 650, could it be that there's other channels that are not even related to Google be in control of your ROAS more so than Performance Max? Performance Max did not find users new and generate them as cold traffic. It did not learn off of the successes that it was having before. In the last 2 years, it was never able to go over a 2x return. It was not until we launched YouTube and drove a whole bunch of good prospecting traffic did then Performance Max claim victory. And it did claim victory. It did not generate victory. It captured victory. YouTube is a very horrible network for attribution. It has a very poor job at attributing sales to itself because people don't click on YouTube ads. I mean, they do, but not at any of the rate that it would be to capture the user's attention and generate that brand awareness. So while YouTube is out there being the unsung hero and generating new traffic, generating new awareness, and generating new eyeballs, and generating new demand, Performance Max says, I see YouTube, I see all the people that you're capturing with your videos, I'm going to go remarket to them. And when these people search for me and my brand name, I will capture them. And I will hunt the people down and I will piggyback off of your hard work, but I get to spend a whole bunch of less money doing it, but I get to claim all the victory. And that's what Performance Max does. It is actually led more by omni-channel successful traffic than it will generate its own demand. Plus, you'll probably see this, if this is starting to make sense to you, you'll probably start to say, you know what, when there was good meta days, I had good Performance Max days. When there was bad meta days, I had bad Performance Max days. It wasn't that the market was fluctuating, it was that Performance Max was following meta around. And when meta was not performing well and didn't generate new interested people, Performance Max couldn't capture that demand. There wasn't any demand generated for it. Now, here's the best part. When you're measuring inside of the app, what it looks like, and I'll just keep these campaigns enabled. This is the campaigns that were working well. If we look at December to the end of February, we look at here, December through the end of February, compared to the previous period, we will see that there is a 700% increase in our sales for a 538% increase in our traffic and a 700% increase in our order. So we kept a better conversion rate, actually. We got 23% better conversion rate after spiking YouTube. And it was very successful. It was $500,000 in sales. Now, if we look at December and February, our cost went up $152,000. So here's the great news, is we only spent $175,000 total, and we made $500,000. So as we look at the media efficiency ratio, the top line MER, which is a metric that we teach in our video, we have $502,000, $530,000 divided by the 175,910. It gave us a 285% return. This is not including all the sales that started happening on Amazon, which pushed us over a 3.5. But what's really interesting is we kept it over 3x global top line scale by dumping in $130,000 in a matter of 90 days and just YouTube. And that 1x return delivered a 3x scale immediately. However, if I was measuring in-app ROAS and if I believed Performance Max, I would be thinking it's Performance Max that did everything. Now, why did YouTube fail in reporting? Well, when you look at all of this new traffic, even Shopify and all of the third-party attribution softwares all fail at this. When there's no click, it's left up to interpretation. It's left up to, I'm not sure where these people came from. What Shopify shows is all these people just showed up directly to the site out of the goodness of their heart at 715% increase in traffic. 700 increase in traffic, 700 increase in sales. These people just arrived out of thin air, out of nowhere, and just bought. There's actually some truth to that. These people were coming to the site basically directly because they were returning. When there's no UTMs, you don't really necessarily identify a source. And with the loss of attribution that all of the companies have been seeing lately, these are all of the increases that we're seeing just kind of land on the store that didn't have a UTM, that Shopify just says, I have no idea where they came from. They just showed up. Well, when you go and open your Safari tab on your phone and you type in MOSI space TE, it says, or are you trying to go to Mozy Tea? Yes. And they predictably deliver the Mozy Tea brand name. And when you click on that link, you get right to the store. So it actually will tell you where you want to go. When you click yes, the predicted engine doesn't have UTMs, but it is a direct link. And that's how they show up. And that's 51% of all browser users on mobile devices. That's a lot of people. What are we talking about here? One is by not using in-app measurement for your key source of success and go back to good marketing tactics. Do not be tricked by the all-seeing eye of Google when you're looking at your performance max being at a 654% and increasing over 250% in immediate success. When you look at this in just the first month that this started compared to the previous period, we even see that Performance Max shows an 875 ROAS. You see this thing going just by saying, hey, as long as I spend $1,400 more, I'll make 34 grand. No, it's the 57,000 that's actually increasing here. The funny part is, though, the top line metrics line up, just not attributed correctly. And Performance Max is made to self-attribute so that you feed it more money. If Performance Max can always capture all of the existing demand, it will not help your business, but it will trick you into saying that it has amazing ROAS so that your report to your boss looks good and Google makes their money. Do not be tricked by it. This increase here is 500, and in December 31st, or December 1st to 31st compared to the previous exact period, we see a 542% increase in sales, and there's a 442% increase in cost. Very, very, very funny. So it's not necessarily that for 43% more cost did Performance Max make 675% more money and 654% more conversions. It's simply failing to reward itself with a actual attribute, which is actually YouTube. YouTube thinks that it's still only given a 1.5. It's not. So that's what I wanted to share, is that this is a really awesome isolated use case that shows that Performance Max is omni-channel traffic demand, because it tags the people that come to the site, tags the people that your ads are following, and it goes and hunts them down for its own success. And that is true for every big brand, because every big brand, and even small brands and brands that are trying to grow, it's a built-in fail point that as your brand becomes more successful, so does Performance Max, even in spite of the fact that Performance Max didn't generate that demand for you. So I'm John Moran, customer acquisition specialist, helping you kind of be true to ads and get back to the good old days of marketing. I hope you like this video, and talk to you soon. Thanks.